UPRN, United Public Radio Network, coming to you live on 105.3 right up to 107.7 FM from the beautiful city of New Orleans. UPRNTalkRadio.com. Hey, welcome to the show. Good to see everybody. And you are listening to and watching Spirit Quest, The Journey of Life with your host, Paul Francis. Welcome to the show. If you're listening to me live on the old FM radio waves right now, then you're listening to me on 105.3 right up to 107.7 FM. And yes, indeedy, we're coming to you from the magnificent city of New Orleans via the phenomenon that is UPRN, United Public Radio Network. And UPRN have got a plethora of shows for you to watch. Coming up after this show tonight is The Outer Realms with Amelia and Michelle. Make sure you stick around for that. It's an excellent show. And don't forget, you're going to have my dear friends Roger and Faye. They were on last night and they'll be on again Saturday. So make sure you're hanging around for those guys. It is the place to be. So welcome to the show tonight. And of course, as always, whatever you want to talk about is the primary. So let's have a look who's coming in. Straight off the bat, we have Bing. Good evening, Paul. Good evening. Good evening. I'm pretty confident your first name isn't Facebook and your second name isn't user. Whoever you are, thank you for being here. Thank you for the kisses. Come out of Facebook. Bang, zoom out of Facebook and straight into YouTube and click on click on my Facebook page and click the link and come and join us on YouTube. All right. Better place to be. Minnie Sue's in the house. Sue Vinicum. Loving the 007 from her. Hello, harmonic partner. How are you? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. That's good to see you in the room, darling. Great to see you as always. Connor Gill's joined us. Connor, good evening. Lynn saying loving the cap. Yeah. I put it on earlier and forgot to take it off, to be honest with you. Good evening, Paul. How are you? Once again, boom. Psh, 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 psh. No idea who you are, but thank you for asking. I'm getting over. We'll go into that in a bit. Mara Erickson says, "Hi, Paul. Good evening." Everyone liked and shared. Listen. Take advice from Mary. Like the show. Bing. Hit that big thumb button. Bam, 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 bam. Hit that thumb button and make sure you then like the show. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the show. It's free. And then hit the little bell icon to make sure you don't miss any future shows. But get it out there. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. And invite your friends and family. And especially share it in your groups. Get them to come and join us as well. Ronnie Huff has joined us and she says, love the cap. Well, the caps are available for you guys. If you want to get them, we can make these caps available to you. And there's two designs. There's this design and there's another one with Diamond Star Productions. Susan Fierson's in the house. Susan, good evening and welcome. Thank you for being here. Hi, Paul. Hi. Lovely to see you. Thanks for being here. out of Facebook, YouTube, Paul Francis Medium. Boom, join us again. Alrighty, come join us again. Debbie McCall, hello, Debbie McCall. How are you? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Get out of Facebook, go into YouTube, join us. Come on, click off Facebook, go on to YouTube, click on at the little search bar at the top, Paul Francis Medium. Do you know what? I'll tell you what we're going to do. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be super cool here, right? I'm going to just click on here. I'm going to do that there. I'm going to go back into the show because I just nipped out for a second, right? And I did that. And guess what? See that link right there? See the link? Okay, my thumb right, because fingers right with the. See the link is just coming up there. That link. Click on that link, and that'll bring you right back to the show. Then you can subscribe to the show and hit the bell icon and be come on as a guest. Come on as a guest, Debbie. It's good to see you. I'd love to have a chat with you about what's happening with your paranormal investigations, etc. Congratulations, Connor, on the new job. So proud of you. Connor, I'm proud of you as well. Okay, Mini Mom, and I'm not that I'm your dad, but I'm proud of you nonetheless. Well done. Perseverance. Told you, get up, get on with it. If it's to be, it's up to me. The world is your oyster. Just decide. I'm gonna be the best Connor I can possibly be. I'm going to be the best Connor I can possibly be. And I'm going to go out there. I'm going to get everything that I want in life. I'm going to make it happen. Okay. I'm going to make sure I have the best possible life ever because it's out there. It's waiting for you. And just go and get it. Just go and do it. Make it happen. It's good to see Debs. Kathy Hanley's in the house. Kelly Durant's in the house. Welcome to the show. Right, and that's just what I stuck up there. Julie Sharp says, "Hey Paul, hope you're well. Good evening and welcome. Thanks for y'all for being here. Appreciate it. And a lot of you have obviously getting the links through having been subscribed to us on YouTube, and of course on my website www.paulfrancis111.com, which is going right across the bottom, as you can see. So if you'd like to book sessions or anything like that, do that right now. I'm back doing private one-to-one sessions. I'm also doing group sessions, and I can do that virtually as well. I don't have to come to your house to do it. You can get all your family around for a bit of crack, set it all up on a big screen. I'll come on the screen and we'll go off and we'll have a bit of fun. So imagine having a little kind of a spooky party, a mediumship party, if you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, have it. And I appear virtually on the screen in your house. You have all your pals sitting around in a circle, some nibbles, some drinks, some giggles, and we can have a ball. That can happen. In fact, it's happened quite a few times. Chris James has joined us. Chris, good evening. Welcome to the show. And it's all about the Spirit Quest. That's what it means. The journey of life, journey of spirit. So it's all about your own sort of ideals. What is it? What do you want to know? What do you want to learn? We can talk about pretty much any subject you want to talk about, and there's no sort of given. And on Spirit Quest, I don't do reads unless somebody comes through to me that really, really wants to get through, which is rare because they save that all for Reach Across on Monday nights. And unless that happens, it's all about discovery tonight. Discovering about what's going on, discovery about yourself. Ask me questions about personal advancement, personal development, whatever you want. Paranormal investigations, UFOs, idiotic cretins who call themselves judges, stuff like that. And whatever you want to discuss. I'm getting people messaging me, even though I do say, please don't message me while I'm on the radio. So let me just see who's messaging me, because I got a funny feeling it was my little daughter. Righty then. Yes, it is. And I'm my brother. And my wife. Everybody's asking me. It's all because this picture came up. You can see that picture there. Yes, that's me, and it just arrived. So they're all going, "Hey, that looks cool." So, just before the show, sometimes I've got a couple of minutes, a few minutes on the mess about, and I took a picture of the hat earlier and whacked it across, and just to see who would sort of respond. And the weird thing about it is, you've all responded. You've all responded. That's really quite cool. So, don't forget, make sure that you share the show and come and join us, and let's have a bit of fun. Alrighty, so let's have some fun. Now, whatever you want to talk about, just come on, tell me, talk to me right now. Come, tell me what it is you want to talk about, and we'll be obviously. I should be moving house within the next 14 days, and right after that, then I can get on with doing this seminar here, the awakening. Okay, and that's when you meet your guides. Okay, so we're going to be talking about that. If you want to ask questions on the seminar about stuff like that, we can do that tonight as well. So a lot of people are commenting, a lot of people are sending me emails, and a lot of people are sending me text messages as well. Thank you very much. I tend to only respond verbally. So if you text message me to ask me a question, best thing to do is in the chat room. So do it in the chat room here, and I will respond to you straight away. Joe Sampson, Richard Dearden, both of you just joined us. Welcome to the show. Good to see you. Thanks for being. Thank you for being here. Yeah, somebody have just said, "What are you playing with in your hand?" I am. I've got this in my hand. Okay, it was a. It's a silver, made out of silver, tree of life that have all of the chakra crystals on it. So if I just bring that up, oh man, it's probably not helping a lot, really. So maybe I should attach it there. That'll be quite cool, wouldn't it? Julie Sharp says, "Good luck with the move. It's a stressful time." No, the cause of the move is a stressful time. The move itself is going to be an absolute freaking joy, because then I'm getting out of this dump that we're living in right now. Um, so just to let you all know, the John Edward Hall, J.E. Hall, who owns this house, the heating went down in December, and the hot water went in December, right? And we've been at them since, and they haven't responded, and they've let us go without heating and hot water for, well, 6 months. And then when we decided that they weren't responding, so we decided to hold back on paying the fees, which I looked up is legal, because we didn't refuse to pay them. It's illegal to refuse to pay them, but it's not illegal to withhold funds, to say you'll get this all when you produce, the heating and the hot water. And we ended up in court yesterday, and the judge said, "Nah, pay the bill." So that's why I put up on Facebook yesterday. There is clearly no justice. The only justice that's in the UK is if you buy it. That's it. So I'm really looking forward to meeting my guides. And do we still have the same amount? No, your guides changed, Sue. Actually, that's a really good question. Thank you for asking. Your guides actually change. You as you progress and as you develop. There are certain guides around you to help get you to a particular. I tell you what, the best way to describe it is schools. Okay, so when you go into kindergarten, the teachers in kindergarten are really just getting you ready to start school. So kindergarten is kind of getting you into the frame of mind of what school is all about. In other words, a certain time to start, a certain time to finish, time for break, and interacting with other people, and then doing little kind of interactive games and lessons and so on and so forth. So then you start primary school. So the teachers in primary school are different to the teachers in kindergarten. Okay, so they start you on your path of development, your path of education. So you go to primary one, you go into primary two, again, different level of teacher. Okay, and then three, four, five, six, seven. And the level of the teachers in five, six, and seven are completely different to one, two, and three. So then you leave primary school and you go into high school. So different kind of teachers again. And then you leave high school as you go through all of those, and you go into college, different kind of teachers again. So as you are progressing through your life and you're developing with your spiritual growth, and you because I am absolutely total and utterly believe that as you develop spiritually, you develop physically, and as you develop physically, you develop spiritually. That's why I call it personal development. And as you're going through that from the start right through to, say, for example, where I am, you will have had a multitude of different guides come and go. Now, for me, it's probably different in the fact that I have a team that work with me specifically because I work in the field and I'm kind of like they're kind of like the radio station and I'm the presenter. So they're working in the backgrounds, they're doing the production of the show, they're doing all of that, and I'm the presenter. So so my team have been with me for quite a number of years now, but I still get other guides come in and go out, come in and go out. So it's all about that's a really good question, by the way, Sue. So no, your guides will change and they'll also change depending on what you want to do with your development. Okay. Hope that helps you. Good question, though. Connor Gill says, like a template. Yes, it is kind of ish. Good. Please share the show, folks. Says Lynn. Lynn asked me, sent me a question earlier on, and I read the question and I thought, well, that's a good question, but I can't remember what it was. I remember reading and going, oh, that's a good question. So ask me that question again, please, Lynn, and put it up here in the chat room so I can read it and then bring it across. So if I've just offloaded on you guys there on a political level, I do apologize because I'm anti-politics. I'm very very anti-politics and politics and spiritual development and spiritualism do not mix, and that is why I don't perform in a lot of the spiritual churches anymore because I just came across far too much politics, and then they try and make you work their way, and they want you to do this and they want you to do that, and I go blow it out your hose pipe. It's not for me. See you later. So anyway, um, onwards and onwards, upwards and upwards. So yes, for all intents and purposes, stressful, Jules. It is to actually physically move can be very very stressful. But because we've just literally had enough of living in this dump for the last 6 months, I've been trying to move, and it seems to be to get anything done down here in the Southwest just seems to take so much blooming time. So we're now at the point where we can't wait to move. Yes, it's gonna be stressful, but there is a big part of it being exciting, moving into somewhere new, setting up, and then getting on with the next part of your life. So there's a lot to do. Connor, Julie says, "Don't apologize, Paul. British justice stinks. No faith in it whatsoever." Do you know what, Julie? You, I swear to God, we sat in that courtroom yesterday, right? The judge spoke to me once, and then just spoke with that cretin who owns this place's solicitor. Just conversed between them two. Didn't really address us whatsoever. Boom, out the window. So I will not support the justice system, and I definitely don't support any other system. Don't support the police system because they just seem to be just as bad. Kathy Hanley just arrived. She said, "Hi, Raj." Oh, where's there he is, Roger. Just checking in. Hey, buddy, how are you? I'll send you a link to the show in a minute. Connor says, Paul, do you think it's true that a soul could ever be destroyed because of energy? No, you can't destroy energy. You can't destroy energy. Um, so you cannot an energy can change, but you can't destroy it. Okay. One of the strongest substances on the earth is water. You can't destroy it. You can change it, but you can't destroy it. So the soul is pure energy. So it's the strongest form of energy. So it can't be destroyed at all. So don't think like that. Mary says venting is healthy, and we have all had stressful moments. Let it go. I can hear her singing, "Let it go, let it go." Oh my god, I can't believe I actually did that, and in live, throughout the globe. Oh my god, I'm not gonna live that one down for some time to get, how do you know that song? I don't. I've never seen Frozen, I just happen to know it's from that. Emma Lorem has joined us. Emma, good evening. Good evening, welcome to the show. Yes, indeed, Sue Vinicum. It is a great question, actually, asking about the energy. See, there are there's physical and then there's metaphysical. So physical and beyond physical. And the soul energy can even layer into the concept of quantum physics as well. Now, I'm going to do something with you guys right now. Check this out, okay? Right. The good thing about this is we have physicals. Okay, this you have physicality. You can see and hear me. That's the physicality of it, which I love. So I'm going to demonstrate time to you. I'm going to demonstrate a theory, okay, that us, everybody, are behind time. We catch time up. So so basically everything you're listening to now has already happened. We're just catching up with it. So, and I had a physicist sit down with me. He came to one of my shows and we were talking about it. And he said, "Let me just demonstrate something to you." And when he finished demonstrating, it blew my mind. Okay. So everybody. So, for example, Richard Reardon, Sue Vinicum, Emma, Kathy, Connor, Judy, everybody who's listening to me now can all hear me. So, for example, Julie and Emma, and sorry, and well, basically, it doesn't really matter from wherever you are in the world. Sue and Lynn, I know, are definitely from the UK. Julie and Connor, Joe, all from the UK. And then we have a lot of people from listening in from different other countries, and a lot of people listening from the United States. But you can all hear me at the same time. You're all literally hearing me, and you're understanding what I'm saying. So here's the concept of quantum physics, and here's the concept or the ideal that we might be behind time. So I'm speaking right now. My brain has to formulate the thought. I have to think about what I'm going to say. I then translate it down into air and vibration, and that comes into my mouth, which formulates sound. The sound with my tongue, the shape of my mouth and my lips formulate words. The words travel out, they go into this unit here, which is called a microphone. Inside of this microphone, there's a diaphragm. It moves back and forth like that because it's vibration. It then sends the vibration down this lead into a another amplification unit. That sends it across into the computer. The computer sends it via waves into a receiver, which is the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi sends it up into space. No, it doesn't actually. The Wi-Fi sends it to a junction box, which sends it to a transmitter, which sends it up into space. It sends it back down again to the transmitter near you. It's received. It sends it along its lines into your inbox on the side of your house. So all through all of those lines on the inbox on the side of your house, up through your system and into whatever you're watching or listening to me on tonight. So from my brain to your ears, there has to be time. There has to be time. Other words, otherwise, I beg your pardon. Otherwise, this would be thought transference, and I would need this microphone. So think about that for a second. How amazing is that? So my brain, my microphone, receiver, transmitter, all the way down to an outboard transmitter, transmits it up into space, hits satellite, sends it right all the way back down to the various receivers around the globe. The globe then receives the signal, transmits it back into the data, right along all the different lines into the junction box, into your website. Sorry, into your your Wi-Fi, and then transmits that to whatever you're listening to me on, via the cell phone, via smartphone, computer, TV, whatever. So from my brain to your ears, there has to be time. And Therefore, so what I've said, you catch up with like that. And it's one of the theories of déjà vu. Every now and again, there's a glitch in the system, and you catch up and you think, "Did I say that before? Not that way. I'm sure I said that before." And it's a glitch in the system, and you catch up a little bit either too quickly or there's a loop. And that is that when I first heard that theory, quantum physics theory, I was like, first my emission my sorry, my immediate reaction was, "What?" And then you have to sit back and you think, "Oh my god, yeah." And at that time, I was, performing on stage, so I spoke into the microphone, which was a radio mic, so it then had to send all the signals to the receivers, so there was other obstacles in the way. And when he explained all that out, I went, "Oh my god. Oh my god." Logic dictates there has to be time between me speaking and you receiving. There has to be. It's just mind-boggling. Wow. Um, Richard says, I'm just gonna bring Richard's question right up here right now. Do we have good and bad cycles? What do you call a cycle? What are you referring to, Richard, as a cycle, my friend? Um, do we have good and bad moods? Yes. Do we have good and bad days? Of course we do. But one of the things that I've determined that is you need good and bad days, yin and yang, dark and light, balance. If you're having constantly really good days, constantly, and you've never experienced a bad day, how would you know what a bad day is? If you're having bad days all of your life, how would you know what a good day is? So you have to have one to experience the other. Right? So, I'm not sure where what your concept of cycles is, or is that the type of question you're asking me? But ask me, if it's not if I haven't answered you correctly or not answering the information that you want, just rephrase the question. Happy to answer, and thank you for your question, Richard. Appreciate it. Randy Monty, hi, Randy. Welcome to the show. All that in seconds. Yes, so it's um, mm, think about it. Just literally think about it. It's just wow. Shani, hello, Paul. I love from South Africa. There you go. Look, see, Shani's listening to me in South Africa. I'm here in Cornwall, and she's hearing me immediately. So again, time, quantum physics. Marie Taylor, anything for me, please? I have no idea. What are you asking for? Great question, and I wondered about that myself. So, Lynn says, I've already posted my question, but here it comes again. Can our relatives, all right, you sarky cow, um, can our relatives who passed away many years ago, centuries ago, meet up with our recently passed relatives, or have they moved on? Right. Well, there's three different questions there, basically. Alrighty. Can our relatives who have passed way many years ago, century groups, meet up with our recently passed relatives, or have they moved on? So, first and foremost, communication is well, I demonstrate communication every single week. So, yes, they can link up. Do they meet up? Well, to answer well, see, there's one question there that doesn't really make sense. Have they moved on? Okay, so I'm not too sure what you're asking in that particular question, but let me just say, and I've spoken about this before, where, as I said, the people say to me, "How long or how short do you deal with spirit people as they cross?" And I said the shortest was 45 minutes from passing, and the longest was something between 50 and 70 years. So now, there's I heard John Edward describe this one night, and I thought, wow, that's cool. So we can if, for example, our spirit energies who are from friends and family have crossed over, because we don't have to come back. We're not There's no order to say you've got to come back. You People do come back because they want to they want to grow the spirit energy through the levels to get up to the highest possible level of spirit can get to. And that's where they have an option to become guides. But as the soul progresses, um, until they hit that seventh level, they're constantly coming back. Okay. Now, John Edward explained it one night, and I thought, wow, that's a really cool idea. Like, for example, this glass has, if I hold it up to the mic, you see there's water in it. Okay. So, for example, if I put this glass to my head now and I drink all of the water, is the water gone? Because there's still going to be remnants of water inside of here. Yet the half of the glass that I have drank, so I've drank, you can see it. Well, bring it up here. It's easier if I do it that way. So you can see half the glass is there, down is still there. This half the glass has been consumed. So has that all the glass of water that I've consumed, has it gone? Or is it here, part of me? So it's not as so the remaining water can communicate and be a part of those people who have crossed or just recently crossing over. So, that being said, there's so much proof to show that reincarnation is real and happens regularly, and there's so much physical proof for that, that I will not say that, you know, somebody passes away tomorrow, I hope they don't, but if somebody passes away tomorrow, will they meet their ancestors who passed 100 years ago? Is a strong possibility that they would, yes, because the engineering of the soul would allow them to do that. Because what you're thinking it's a good question, by the way, first and foremost. Um, what you're thinking of it two-dimensionally. You're thinking it from our point of view, all right? Which is makes absolute sense. But when you go to the other side of life, where you can watch and be with your family, you could have family in Australia, America, Japan, China, Hong Kong, Ireland, and you can be with them all at the same time. That means that your friends and family who have been part of your family in spirit for the last 100 to 300 years means that you can still interact with them if you think it from that perspective. But it's really quite cool. Alrighty. Now, Mary, I've said to you before, and I've said to you a few times, I do not do readings on Thursday nights, only Monday nights. Mary Erickson is reincarnated. Yes, reincarnation is very real and has been proven so many times. In fact, one of the great TV shows that I watched that was so accurate was a show called The Ghost in My Child, and that was mind blowing. I had a manager, oh crikey, 10, 15 years ago, I think. I had a manager, and she lived in Somerset, and her son walked up uh, to her in the kitchen one day and spoke fluent Mandarin Chinese and said to her, "You're only my mommy now. You're not my real mom." So basically, he had been a Chinese energy that had reincarnated to come to this particular family. So it is really mind-boggling. And you know what? It could take us off in 500 different directions, and each direction will be correct. So it's amazing. Okay. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Let's bring Richard up here. I was told that this is an illusion of our timeline for human form. Well, whoever told you that was talking at the back end. Um, I've thought about Lynn and like ancestors from the 1500s or something, but you got to remember. Okay, just to blow your minds. Okay, just to blow your minds. So Connor could have been an ancestor of yours from the 1100s, from the turn of the century, from 50 years ago, 80 years ago. So Connor could be very much a connection to you. So that's you going, okay, I could be a connection to you. So it's unless we get right into doing the the development towards reincarnation and the soul's progression, which can be done, and a lot of it can be done under specific hypnosis. It is something that we are very, very capable of getting to and remembering. And then there's the concept called the Akashic Records, which is the records of all of your trips here on Earth and what you've developed as a soul. So it's mind-boggling. And do you know what? There's about a million different answers to that particular question. They have to work or okay, so Lynn says they have work to do or reincarnation. Well, that's kind of both the same thing, really, isn't it? Um, or am I so what it's they have work to do. Well, obviously we have work to do. But are you talking about work to do on the other side of life or work to do here? Because it's both the same thing. Because it's remember what you're trying to do is you're trying to quantify it from a human perspective, and you're not listening to the not sorry, not just Lynn. I'm talking about in general. You got to remember this is the soul progression, the soul's progression, okay? And you're thinking about it as a human being or a two-dimensional perspective, of which it's not. Okay, so we come down and we occupy this this machine, okay? So the soul, which is the occupant, and the soul carries on. So when this machine is no longer functioning, and I let go, and I cross over, my spirit, the person, the soul who I am carries on. You follow me? So then I will reconnect to my friends and family who've crossed over and reconnect to my ancestors who all went before me. So I have work to do. When I crossed over, when I had my near death experience, I didn't want to come back. I was for no, I'm not coming back. And they said, "You have work to do." And they went, "Boop, you're going back." And back I came. So, good I'm loving this, by the way. Keep it up. So Richard says, "How do we know what level we're at?" Well, you'll know by your kind of like, okay, what a sort of demonstration to that particular answer is. Now you have come across children in your lives, not just Richard, everybody. I'm talking to all y'all. You'll come across children in your life, and these children are literally too wise for for their years. Okay, and the old saying go well. An old Irish saying is, "Oh, that child's been here before." Oh, that child's been here before. Okay, now you can tell that I have sat with theologians, right, and quite frankly, discussed crap. Okay, listening to them talking out their back ends, total BS. Yet I have sat and conversed with a 5-year-old who blew my mind with wisdom, alrighty? So, which is right, the theologian who just wants to sound important, but has gone through many years of university, or the child who speaks purely from the heart with nothing else other than sense. Now you're all going, "OMG," and you're all going, "OMG," because you've experienced it. Because you've actually experienced it. You've actually spoken to a little child who just says something and you go, "Oh my god," like that. You've actually experienced it. That's why your mind isn't going, "Paul's talking out his rear end again," you know? That's why. So many children have been here so many times. Um, I believe my dad was a fairly new spirit, fairly new energy, and yet my daughter Maddie and my daughter well, actually, all of my kids, to be honest with you, to be fair, all my kids, I'm pretty confident have been here before many, many, many times, okay, because 'Cause they're wise way above their knowledge. Oh, here we go. Look at this, Aziz Awal. Look at this guy here. So Aziz, as if he's telling the truth. This is, um this is a con artist. This is a liar, a thief, and a cheat. Okay. And what Aziz doesn't get is Aziz, karma has to be paid. It has to happen. Okay. So when you do people wrong, when you lie and cheat and thieve, that karma must be paid. It will come back to you. And if you do it in the presence of spirit, it'll come back to you 3 to 7 times fold. My advice is stop doing this. Stop being a prick and start becoming a real human being. Crit. Um, so anybody, if you come across that asswipe, just report them. Block user. Block user. Here we go. So Mary says, I have read, where are we? I've read many of Edgar Cay's books. He says that the soul decides when to come back and often reconnect with the same people, but in different relationships. And I find, yeah, I would totally agree with that. In fact, Amelia Pistano, who's coming on the show after me, she's totally and utterly convinced, and what she was talking about resonated with me. She's totally convinced that we were married in a previous life, she and I. Um, and she said stuff to me and went, I that makes sense to me. That really makes sense to me. It's amazing. And yet she's in one part of the world, I'm in the other, yet we met up. We met up, we were supposed to meet. I mean, I come from Ireland. I come from a stunningly beautiful country, yet I needed to be here in Cornwall. I had to be here. Something drew me away from Ireland and made me to come here. So you have to be in certain points of, your soul will take you to the place where you need to be in order to progress to the level you need to progress to. Okay, let's see what Sue says. Can you tell me when you do readings online? Can you tell when you do readings online for groups if we are new souls or how many times we have been here before? Only see the thing about it is when I tell people on a regular. In fact, I did a reading yesterday and I said exactly this. Sorry, not yesterday, day before, and I said this. I'm the mailman. My job is to deliver the mail, not to read it. Okay. So if it's in the mail about your progression as a person, as a human being, as a soul, then the information will be there. But it's more about helping you progress your soul here and now. Okay. The messages from spirit are tend to be really tend to be, we're fine. Stop worrying about it. Oh, by the way, stop crying about it. Stop sobbing and sitting in and wasting your life. That tends to be the overall message. We're fine. I'm back with the rest of it. Oh, by the way, if they crossed over with a serious illness, the main point of view is to say, no, I don't have that anymore. That was part of the physical. I am absolutely fine. And to say that they have progressed and they're with the people they love and they are able to communicate with you through somebody like me. I mean, once again, I keep saying you don't need mediums. If you can shut up and listen, you'll hear them yourself. So, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this development seminar called The Awakening. Right. Good question, Sue. Thank you very much, my love. I love karma, truly believe in it, and it's true. Yeah, so cretins like that, Aziz asswipe, he's going to end up having to pay that karma that ripping people off. Uh, I wouldn't even say get your own show, Roger. I don't think he's got the brain cells to be able to spell show like anything else. Archie had been here before. He proved that many times. I would agree with that absolutely. Faye's in the house. Hey, hello, dear Paul. Still waiting for the plumber to arrive. Now, Roger, Faye's waiting on the plumber. Oh, you hear that? Sue says, "I do feel like I've been here before." Yes, indeed. I would absolutely, totally not understand that you have. That you have. Summer Dawson says, "Hi, I'm new. Welcome, Summer, from North Carolina, and welcome to the show. Summer. Now, can I press you to come out of Facebook and go onto YouTube? So come into YouTube because Facebook has a habit of shutting down after 15 minutes and kicks people off, telling them that I kicked them off and I didn't. So come out of Facebook, Summer, and go onto YouTube. And if you literally type in the search bar Paul Francis Medium, it'll bring you right back to the show. In which case, subscribe, please. Click the little bell icon and become part of the Paul Francis Network. I was wondering if you had any messages from Spirit. Well, I deal with messages from Spirit all of the time. It's really about what it is that you want to ask, but I don't do reads per se on a Thursday night. This is all about development, okay, about learning about what we do, learning about yourself, and interacting and how to understand what energy is, stuff along this nature. I have a show on Monday night at 8 p.m. UK time, which is about 3 p.m. Eastern, called Reach Across, which is solely dedicated to doing reads for spirit through spirit and psychic development. So, but I appreciate you being here tonight, nonetheless, and you're very, very welcome, by the way. Um, right. So, where are we? I've had dreams of what I believe were prior lives. It was like watching a movie or TV show. It felt so unbelievably familiar. Yes, indeedy, absolutely. That's where you're gonna link into the Akashic records and do stuff of that nature. So I've been on here now for 50 minutes, so it really, really is, I think, probably time for what do you think? What do you think it's time for? I think one of these.
You are listening to UPRN, United Public Radio Network, coming to you live on 105.3 right up to 107.7 FM from the beautiful city of New Orleans. UPRNTalkRadio.com.
Yes, indeed, and I am back. You are listening to me on UPRN Talk Radio, and I am very glad that you're listening to me on UPRN Talk Radio. I'm just trying to find Roger or Faye or both, because then I can send a link and invite my brother Roger onto the show. So where are we? Where are we? No, I'm listening. I'm doing it all wrong here. So I'm going to send a link to Roger momentarily and get him to come onto the show tonight so you guys can interact with us both because you seem to have to enjoy that a lot, which is fantastic, by the way. And so what I've got to do is I got to find said geezer first. But keep those questions coming, by the way. And here's a big question from me to you. Are you enjoying the show? Are you enjoying the show? I need to know. Please, please, please share. There's Faye. So, no, that's not Faye. I'm losing the plot. I'm using the will to live tonight. That's what it's all about. So, are you enjoying the show? And if so, what is it that you're enjoying about the show so I can do more of it? So, and I'm just, oh, there he is. There he is. There is Roger Garza Sr. And no doubt he's going to come onto the show now. And then we can all tease him about his wife at home with the plumber. Summer says, I will have to check it out. Please do, Summer. Come on, as I say, come on to YouTube and, subscribe and then click the bell icon. So when I'm doing shows, when they get released, you will be automatically sort of told in advance that the show is happening and invited onto the show. So make sure you do click on that and become part of it. All righty. Oh, here he is. He's in the house. Here he is. Here he is. Oh, Roger Garza Sr.'s in the house.
And the plumber's on his way.
Oh, yeah, I bet he is. Yeah. How are you, brother?
Good, good, good. Thank you to the Lord, and thank you, Paul, for asking. And just hanging in there with everybody else.
Yeah. So what's the school? What's the story? What's happening? Tell me. Talk to me. I haven't spoken to you since this time last week, literally.
Yeah, well, we we have got two events coming up this at the end of July, and one going into August, and then we're working on the third one right now. So
Hmm. So,
thank the
what are
Lord.
these events? Where are they happening? How can people get to see them?
The first one, from what I understand, the first one is sold out.
Oh
Okay,
goodness,
that's in
get you
Grafton, North Dakota. The
right.
second one is supposed to be in Becker, Minnesota. I'm sorry, Grafton, North Dakota, and Becker, Minnesota. The one in Becker, Minnesota, there's still tickets available.
And what are
So,
these? What are these events? What are they?
well, I'll be doing readings,
So
shaking
you're
hands,
going to do
taking
a you're going
pictures.
to do a show,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay, good.
And
So so because what you need to be doing, what we need to be doing is promoting you. So we need to be able to get people to be able to get tickets and get to the shows and go and see you.
oh, by the way, speaking of which,
Hmm.
our buddy is coming in September to Minneapolis.
Who? John Edward,
I should lean more towards your buddy.
my buddy, John Edward. Are you talking about?
Yep, exactly.
He needs to watch out.
Yep, he's coming. And I told Faye, I said, I would love to open for him.
Yeah. Um. I don't know what he's doing much now. To be honest with you, I haven't sort of interacted with him or his shows for a while. To be brutally honest, I've because our shows have been going so well. I'm just focused on those. I'm focused on the two new books I'm working on, and can't wait to get these moves done because they're now stressing us out. Trying to get these houses bought, it seems to be like one. There seems to be one roadblock after another just to try and buy a damn house. So that's why we've decided to look in Ireland and look in Wales and think maybe Cornwall's not for us, but we'll see how it works out.
Well, buddy, all I can say is when I see you, not if, but when I see you, I plan on giving you a what we call a limpia, a cleansing.
Alrighty, well you can do that. You can do that from sitting from where you are right now.
Oh, I know I can do it that way, but I'd rather do it the way I do it, and that way it'll knock you on your butt.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, by the way, Trudy Hall has joined us. Good evening, Trudy.
Hi,
Welcome to
Trudy.
the show. I just want to, yes, enjoying all the different questions people ask, says Ronnie. Thank you very much. What it
Hello,
is one,
Lynn.
it is Sue. It is Sue. One of the many reasons why I love Paul and Roger shows, meeting up with great like-minded people. That is a brilliant answer, Mary.
Really,
Well
I love
done.
that too.
Lisa Cantu has joined us. Lisa's Michigan's in the house. Joe Sampson says, I believe I have been here before. I go places that I've never been and know my way around. Yes, yes, indeedy. That is something that'll give you a really good indication that you've been here before. Right,
Paul, why
okay.
am I picking up an old bridge
For whom?
for you?
For me, an old bridge.
A bridge that's made out of steel.
Uh,
It
uh,
almost seems like it's a bridge that like either one car, one lane, or it's a bridge that people walk over.
right, okay. There's a couple of things that I can answer that with. Let me give you a couple of options, and then you can sort of say no, it's this, no, it's that. Now, one of the places that I've been to, weirdly enough, that it links into what we're talking about, is I've actually. Have you ever seen the movie A Bridge Too Far?
Yeah,
I've been on that bridge.
really.
Yeah, I've been to Arnhem. Over 25,000 allies died in one day there, and I've been on that bridge where you go across. So that bridge is quite important. I've actually been to the Arnhem Cemetery. You've probably seen pictures of it where it looks like there's rows and rows and rows of little white tablets, but they're actually headstones. And it's one of the most mind-boggling places I've ever been to, because when you stand outside it, you're like in a city, and you hear all the traffic and the horns blowing and people chatting and da 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 beep beep beep, city life, right?
Right.
You walk through the gates into the Arnhem Cemetery. It is total quiet, and you can hear birds chirping.
Wow.
And it's just like you step outside again, beep beep beep, blah, 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 step in again, total quiet. So that weirdly enough was on my mind over the last couple of days. That particular bridge. Now let's go to another bridge. I was on a bridge. Oh, what? I was doing something quite. Oh, I know what it was. We were going to Wales, and we had to cross this amazing suspension bridge. And I love architecture, and so it for me, I was like driving across, going, "Wow, isn't it amazing what man can achieve?" And Johanna was looking at me, going, "Is that what you want to talk about? What do you mean? We're on a bridge. We're suspended above the ocean. Don't you find that amazing?" No. So, honest to God. So, yeah, those are two bridges. There is one other bridge that might sort of, and it is mending bridges, which I happen to be doing a meditation on today.
Well, this bridge comes. It comes to me in like a dark green rustic color,
Hmm.
and it's not real tall. It's short.
Right. I can't think what that is right now. It doesn't mean you're wrong, though. Remember, I teach my students just because somebody says no doesn't mean that you're wrong. It just means no, I can't place it right now. I mean, I should. I've got something inside of me telling me I should know what you're talking about. So
You've
let me
watched the
digest it.
movie, Paul. You've watched the movie, The Longest Day.
Yeah,
You remember the bridge that they fought over?
I think that's part. That's the one I'm talking about. The bridge, a bridge too far.
And they bombed it or something, and it
Yeah.
fell half in like that.
Hmm.
Well, it's that type of a bridge,
Okay.
but it's not tall, tall. It's short.
Okay. It could. I'm. This is me stretching. It could be a place in Ireland, where I'm from, in the north of Ireland.
Stop a minute. Does it got a S name to it?
Yes. No, a C name.
Is it like I'm hearing spear, spear, spear.
No, no, it's called Craigavon.
No, then it's not it. I don't mean to
They,
disrupt your show, but
no, yeah, of course you do. Um, no, I can't think about that. It doesn't mean you're wrong. Let me just digest that for a minute or two. And if it doesn't come to me during the show, then I will definitely let you know.
and throw
Through
me out.
text
Okay,
messages.
thank you. Hello,
Like
everybody.
the
Okay, I'm
Tamar
done.
Bridge coming into Devon's Sue. You have that's an amazing bridge. That's actually two bridges. It's partially for cars, for suspension for people to walk across, and trains. Let's have a look. And the Clifton Suspension Bridge is incredible. Yes, it is. Marie Taylor is saying hi, Raj. Right, everybody's saying hi, Raj. So, right, I'll leave you with Roger, guys. I'm off.
Well,
I'm
where
in
you
that kind of a
going?
mood.
This is your show now.
Actually, do you know what? I'm gonna take my hat off. Give me a second. Ah, you got to get one of my hats.
Yeah, I don't mind. I
Couldn't
still
hear
have
you
all
there.
my hair, though.
Say again.
I still have all my hair.
Yes, so I.
It's not that
Yeah.
I'm hiding my head.
No, my hair is all real. You see it moving now.
Oh, oh Lord.
Oh, that's better.
Yes, yes,
I'm
yes.
actually it's a bit hot here at the moment. Is that at Salt Ash? Yes, Joe. The bridge going across from Devon to Cornwall, or Cornwall to Devon, Devon to Cornwall, both. Obviously, that's over there at Salt Ash. It's an amazing bridge. Yeah.
Is that the name of the bridge?
No,
Salt?
Salt Ash is the Salt Ash is a town.
I said with the S, Paul.
Yeah. Yeah, but that bridge isn't green and it's huge.
No, then it's like a walkway bridge,
No,
kind of.
it's this is a huge bridge.
No.
It's a big suspension bridge, and it was one of the very first ever designed. It's massive. I mean, it's got 5 lanes of traffic and a
Jeez.
railway. So this is not what you were describing.
How can it
But I
hold
could
that
see what you
much
mean with
weight?
the S though. Saltash being in the S.
2 tier, Joe says. Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's actually 4 tier. Actually 5 tier, because it's got a center tier, 2 tiers each side of it, and then a train as well.
A train?
Train, yeah,
That's a lot of weight.
and a pedestrian. So it's got 5 tiers.
My God.
Mm, that's huge. So that's when you said to me, "Oh, it's like it's only second." I went, "No, it's not that bridge because this one's massive. It's got a toll booth on it. It's that damn big." So
Either you, Paul, or somebody that's on had sausage and eggs this morning. This is crazy. Why are they showing me that?
I didn't have sausage and eggs this morning. That's for sure.
Somebody did
I did have them yesterday morning.
like kielbasa sausage, you know, the big.
Oh, and the big curly one. No, I had normal ones yesterday morning, and it
This
happened to
is
be an issue
crazy.
with the said sausages. In fact, because the chef that cooked them didn't cook them properly.
Oh, that's one thing they always say: never cook for a chef.
Oh no, these were pink, but
Ugh. No,
so
then he didn't cook it right.
you can't eat raw pork.
No.
You'll die, especially raw pork that's been warmed and not all the way through. You're asking for serious health issues.
Yep.
Kelly says, loving the show. Kelly, thank you, because the show is only good when you're here. Appreciate that. Um, Roger and I would just be sitting having a chat if you guys weren't here. So appreciate it. Um, so, Roger, tell us a bit more about what people can expect of your events.
Well, Kelly is the other one that's having the event in Becker, Minnesota.
Hmm.
So if you would like to go, folks, there's still tickets available. Please get a hold of Kelly. Okay.
Is it at a theater? Is it something like that?
The first one is going to be a room at the Armory, I believe it is. And the
Okay,
second one, Kelly was going to get a little hall of some type.
cool.
The third one, from what I understand, is going to be at somebody's house.
Right, gotcha. So that's a private event then.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we need to do is we'll get you guys involved with Kelly, have a chat with Kelly, and see if you can get tickets so you can go and see Roger in the flesh.
Hi,
That's
Kelly.
something that Faye has to put up with on a regular basis. Now you'll know what she goes through.
You just gotta start, don't you? You
Part of the
can't
deal.
you can't nicely put in a little plug without the boom.
Part of the deal, brother.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
And we got when we get the 10 and 10 tour going, then they'll be in theaters and you'll be able to get. I might let him come along. I don't know yet. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how he
Please,
performs.
Daddy, please.
Let's see how he performs in these
Oh
shows
Lord.
first, because these are literally. I mean, he's new to being on stage. He's not really, he's a bit green behind the ears.
Oh Lord. Yes, I've been all over the United States. I've been to Europe, and I've been on stages. And I've been to Mexico City on stage. I've been in Mexico on stage. But I'm a greenhorn.
How many times have you done
Oh gosh.
spirit shows?
Oh, spirit shows. Yes, I'm a greenhorn. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I rest my case.
Oh Lord.
Hey, Roger, there's
Yes,
no
sir.
difference. You're just doing a different job. That's all. You've no difference. You've got a stage personality. I've seen it. Um, you've got an ability to be able to communicate with the living, which is harder than spirit.
Oh yeah.
And you've got everything you possibly need to create a good show, and allow your theatrics to come through.
Oh, they will. You know that.
So light, sound, the works, lightings. Make it a show, because if you're enjoying it, then the audience will enjoy it. That's what it's all about. You know that.
Plus, I have a beautiful wife that's with me, so
Yeah, yeah, you
I
have.
have a beautiful wife, Paul. She's
What
mine.
What do you say? What are you saying? I haven't.
No, I'm saying she's mine.
She's yours. She
She's got to
is,
put up
and
with me. Remember?
she's a phenomenal. A phenomenon person, and I have a lot of time. Actually, no, you guys know I have a lot of time for both of you. You're my family as far as I'm concerned.
And you
So
are ours.
um we can take the mick out of each other because it's all done in love, and it's all done
Yep.
in the best possible way that we have a gig. Because if we're having a laugh, if Roger and I are giggling and laughing and having fun, then you guys will have the same, so you get the same energy. As I was I'm part of an international healing group at the minute, and I bring the same thing to that group. I have them all laughing, and they go, "Oh my God, there is nothing stronger than laughter as a healing energy," and I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. So Kelly's saying, do you know what? The best thing to do is bring that up on the screen so people can see it. Anyone in, what does MN stand for?
Minnesota.
Why does not MA?
No, it's Minnesota. That's the way they
MN.
spell it.
Who would like to
MN.
see Roger in person, please feel free to reach out for a ticket. Yes, go and get a hold of Kelly. Kelly, send me a private message onto my Facebook page and send me a link so I can get it posted on my Facebook page so we can try and get somebody to come and see him, because I'm pretty sure nobody wants to see him. But let's see if we can get somebody to come and see him, and and let's get it done. And
It's
if you're
like,
that good, Kelly, I might hire you for the tour. So,
uh,
but you got to have 10 cities, 10 theaters, and a tour bus. And I
and a
only
tour
fly
bus.
and I only fly first class, by the way, just so you understand. And
Oh Lord,
then
have
you have to get it
mercy.
lined up with TV and radio stations all the way through the tour. And it's a actually, people say, "Oh, I'm not, throwing out money on a tour manager." They're worth their weight in gold.
Yep.
They really are. Because if Roger and I had to uh, set up the theaters, set up the shows, set up the sound and lighting. Oh, I mean, just goes on and on and on and on.
Yep.
You need a team for that. So
It'll take away from this.
it would take away from that in a big way. But we also, if you guys are listening out there tonight, I need a tour production manager in for the United States. Oh, right, guys, listen. I could hear noise. I looked out through the studio windows, and there's a flashing light going past, but it's a helicopter. So, this morning I woke at 4:15 a.m. So everything was quiet. The world was quiet, as it would be at 4:15 a.m. And I sleep with the curtains open and the windows open because it's very, very warm here at the minute. Next thing, the way when you see movement, it catches your eye, peripheral, and this white orb went right across the sky, and there were no stars. It already cracked dawn, by the way. Dawn had already broken, so the sunlight was already there, and this orb went right across the sky, totally silent. And it wasn't an airplane because it didn't have AC anti-collision lights that flash underneath the wings, and it went right across the sky 4:15 a.m. this morning, and it was a big white orb. And so I think I might have clapped eyes on a UFO this morning at 4:15 a.m.
Hmm.
I woke up at 4:15 because I was still annoyed with the cretin judge that I was dealing with yesterday. There we go. So thank you, Paul. See, at least she thanks me for promoting your shows.
What? I don't.
No, you don't.
Thank you, brother. I am not worthy.
I know. So
Oh Lord have mercy.
so let's have some more questions, you guys. Come on, it's all about the concept of us answering your questions and the world of discovery together. Sue says built by and designed by Brunel. That's very, very correct. There's an amazing show on it actually. Kelly's saying it's going to be at the Legion in Minnesota. There you
Okay.
go. I do post on a regular basis, Paul, darling Paul. See, darling Paul, not just Paul, darling Paul.
Excuse me, folks. I'm gonna be sick for a while.
Yeah. Oh my god. um. So great show. You two make me laugh so much. Thank you so much. Well, thank you, Julie, for
Yeah.
saying that. That means that we're doing what we wanted to. Ah man, I missed the comedy duo. At least I'm here for the last ear. That's Cornish. See, I'm here. I'm here for the last bit. I didn't miss all of the shows. It's Dawn. Dawn, welcome, my darling. It's always a pleasure to see you. I will be in Truro on Saturday. If you want to come to my favorite deli for a brew and a catch up, so I'm going to be down there. Have you or Roger witnessed a poltergeist? Have you witnessed a poltergeist? Now, first and foremost, do you know what a poltergeist is?
All I know is I saw something, but I'll let you explain. But I saw something when I was gonna do a reading for a guy.
Right. Well, let's evaluate what the word poltergeist is first and foremost. Sue's written it correctly. I'll bring it up on the screen so people can see. There we go. So she's written it correctly, but it's actually two words. It's actually two German words, Polter and Geist. Okay, Polter actually means in Germany or German unsettled, and the word Geist means ghost or spirit. Unsettled spirit. Now, the reason that the word poltergeist has a claimed a negative connotation is because of the movie Poltergeist. Okay, so it actually means unsettled spirit. So now, if you all look at Roger, no, please try and look at him. If you all look at Roger, so imagine now Roger has passed, boom, but he may not be aware he's passed. Okay, so I have Faye on the show, and we're all kind of sad. You know, we miss Roger, and we're talking about him, but nobody's talking to him. So he'll try and interact, and we'll be just seemingly ignoring him. And then, Faye and I will talk to everybody in the chat room, and again, we'll be mentioning Roger and how much we miss him. And sooner or later, he's going to become unsettled and fed up. Hence the name Poltergeist. It is actually nothing at all to do with evil, nothing remotely. And just because the spirit is being ignored, is getting fed up, it gets branded the concept of poltergeist. And this is
Is
why I have a major issue with those idiotic shows that get filmed in the United States and everything's evil. No, not the ones I'm talking about. You know those paranormal crap that gets filmed in the US, and every single house that you go into is got a demon in it, or it's evil this and demon that, and
speaking of houses and all that, Paul.
yeah.
For some odd reason, they brought this up to me, or they're showing me. Have you ever been in a castle where you hear crying? Somebody's crying.
hmm I used to be a chef in an actual castle, a real life purpose built castle.
It's almost like they're calling you back.
I'd go back in a heartbeat. Um, in fact, the castle got converted into dwellings. In other words, it became apartments.
Right.
And I have maintained on regular basis that people that are own those apartments are definitely going to be experiencing spiritual activity. Definitely, because we were walking down one of the turrets, the big circular rooms that are on the
Mm-hmm.
sides, and these walls were anything between 4 and 6 foot thick. Okay, so it's a proper castle, and there was no light in it at all. So myself and one of the other chefs were walking down these stairs in pitch black, sort of feeling, if we got our back against the curve of the wall, walking along, feeling the steps with our feet, feeling the walls with our hands. You see, you got the picture in your eye.
Right.
Next thing, boom, like that, and I turned to him. I don't think that's very funny, and he started quivering. I said, "What? I said, don't give me a, I thought he was just trying to play the game. And he said, Paul, I promise you with my heart and my soul, I did not do that. So
Wow.
we went, okay.
Lucky
Boom.
we went on the stairs faster.
Oh, hey. And that was the room. Oh, sorry, the beg your pardon. That was the castle I told you a story about when I went back to get my chef's whites, and a wind started in the middle of the room all on its own. Did I tell you about that
Oh
story?
no.
Well, the castle got shut down. It was a hotel, and it ended up closing. It wasn't doing enough business to keep it going open. So, and I'd left about 3 or 4 sets of chef's whites, which were quite expensive. So I had got another job in another hotel, and I went back to get my whites. So I went to the hotel. It was locked up and closed, and I could hear this music in the background. So I went all the way around to where the kitchens were, and I mean these windows. If you can imagine these windows, oh my gosh, they were about 8 foot by 8 foot windows. They were huge, you know. But off the ground, they were only about, I don't know, 4 foot off the ground, the windowsill. So you could literally walk up to the window, climb through it into the kitchen without any, any issues.
Right.
So I did, and I was shouting so that somebody wouldn't think I was breaking and entering. I was shouting, "Hi, anybody here? Hi, here." Not very many burglars tend to shout and tell everybody they're there.
Right.
So I was shouting. So I decided to go up into where we stayed as chefs to try and find these whites. So I went in, the first room wasn't there, and the second room wasn't there, and I went to the top of the turret, the top of the whatever it's called, the circular rooms. So I was looking in the cupboards, and one I had the cupboard door open, so my head was in like that. So the cupboard door's there, and I can't see past the door. So I could hear this like that, and I'm thinking, okay, what's that? So and I just lean back like that, and I look, and this wind is starting in the middle of the room.
Wow.
Whoosh! Remember running?
Yeah. Right.
And I can feel this wind right on my shoulder like this. So I run right down, right through the kitchen, and I didn't touch the window. I dived right through
I
it.
was gonna say
Yeah.
yeah.
No, this is the God's truth. This is my, and I'm holding this up secret. This happened, and I dove through the window onto the lawn, and the window went boom like that behind me.
Wow. And don't come back. That's what
Yeah,
they
I
were
didn't.
saying.
So arrived in the car. And my girlfriend at the time looked at me and went, "You okay?" And I went, "No." I told her
Wow.
what happened. She went, "Oh, let's get out of here." We went. A big hi to Anne Gamble has just joined us. Anne, welcome to the show, my love. Good to see you. Have you been to Carnbray Castle, Paul? Says Dawn. Yes, I have. I was in Carnbray Castle. It's a restaurant. I've been there. I mean, I've also been to the other castle down at Prosans, which is the one that Most Haunted went to. I've been to that one as well. So, Paul, this is your wife's asking me a question, and she's more important than you are, so I'm going to ask her. Paul, whenever you are on paranormal investigations, do you ever become frightened by an entity? I would say, yeah. I would say you'd be silly not to be on edge, not to be. There's been a couple of times where I've like, oh, I wish I was at home. There's been a couple of times when that's happened. I went to one which Dawn and a few of the people who live in the southwest will know, and it is Baldu Church. It's called Baldu Church, and they say that the dark mass was held at Baldu Church. So myself and my team, way back when, we went to do an investigation at Baldu Church, and we didn't even get to the church. I could see this green light coming through the keyhole, like a movie, Raj, like a movie. Green light just coming through the keyhole, and I went, "That's enough of that." And I could see shapes around the gravestones in the graveyard. And we went over to another part of the graveyard where two of us were literally frozen into the ground. Oh yeah, yeah. I think you need to have your wits about you, and you need to be respectful. That's the golden key.
Yep.
Be respectful.
I always say that. But anyway,
Good
that
question.
the lady Paul that I told you,
Uh huh.
she's at this castle, and I hear
Yep. That is
like
Gosford
that.
Castle. If you guys write this down, Gosford, Gosfort, Gosford Castle, which is in County Armagh, Northern Ireland, where I come from, and she haunts the castle because she lost her husband and she jumped off the battlements, and she's heard to be crying every single at a certain time every single year.
Wow.
There's also a ghost of a soldier there, but a 1970s soldier who stood up and when a Bell 47 landed. He shouldn't have stood up because it took his head off with the rotor blades.
Yep.
So it's his ghost is seen there as well. Jojo Wall says, Paul, what's your favorite place to visit in Cornwall? My favorite place to visit in Cornwall. I would very confidently say, well, I mean, there's so many amazing places to visit in Cornwall. Depends really. What's my favorite? I think it's probably be Tintagel. Uh, Tintagel or Tagle. Dawn will write down a minute Tintagel. If Dawn writes down Tintagel, I mean, you'll be able to look it up and Google it. But it's the birthplace, Roger, of King Arthur. Yep,
Wow.
the birthplace, and being there, the energies there, buddy, are that melt your mind. The energies there, and there's even Merlin's cave is there. You can actually
When
go
is
and
your
see.
next tour?
I'm not going to be touring. I mean, I'm supposed to go on tour in Ireland because that's probably going to be the next one. And then we were supposed to have the tour of 10 and 10 in October in the United
No,
States.
I'm talking a paranormal tour.
Oh, I'm going out and doing these investigations.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be in the next couple of months.
Wow.
So that could happen in the next couple of months. So Dawn's written it down there. You'll see Boscastle, Tintagel. Google those. It's mind-boggling. And Merlin's Cave. So they all exist. So when you see those stories, it actually is the birthplace of King Arthur. And when you go there, it's just wow. And when you and Faye come over here to the UK, I will take you there.
Okay.
My new house is not very far from Tintagel. So Lisa Cantu says, I've always wanted to visit castles in Ireland, but not sure which ones. I know Ireland has them. I'm open to any suggestions as to which ones you or anyone here think are worth a visit. Well, mm, there are a great there are huge there are a huge amount of castles. So it really would be. It's like somebody said to me, "Oh, which cities are you going to visit on your 10 and 10 tour?" And I went, "Yeah, because I don't know America." So I would be saying to the people, "Say, okay, you guys tell me which ones where a show like ours would be first and foremost accepted, and secondly of all promoted and then attended." So there's no point in putting on a show in a wee back street town and away out in the Midwest and nobody enjoys what we do. So I would really, that's why another reason why we need a professional to put the tour together. 26 minutes past the hour of 10 o'clock, which means I've got 4 minutes left. Roger, you want to tell everybody about your show on Saturday?
We will be doing this mugs for you, meaning a coffee mug, at 10:30 a.m. in at Central Standard Time, and we ask everybody to bring your coffee, bring your tea, your donuts, whatever, tacos,
And
whatever
leave
you
your
want
wife
to
at
have.
home.
No, she's part of the show. She's got to do it with
Not
me.
your wife,
Oh,
the person who's bringing their coffee. Um, Museum of Witchcraft. Yeah, I've been there, Joe. Johanna is a Wiccan, so we went to visit there. Her mind was blown with that place. That's one of the scariest places I've ever been. Actually, the Witchcraft Museum in there. Yeah, I'll take you there, Roger. You'll be blessing yourself every 5 minutes. I guess. I love Deer Park in Killarney. says Jojo. I love to investigate the George and Pilgrim at Glastonbury. Yeah, I've done shows on Glastonbury, and I find them actually quite weak, to be honest with you. Glastonbury shows, but there we go. So you got George. What did I say, George? Where did George come from? Oh, because I was looking at George and Pilgrim. You've got Roger and Faye on this coming Saturday, 4:30 for us in our time,
Yeah.
and 10:30 in Roger and Faye's time. So make sure you guys are around for that. Don't forget, coming after the show tonight, you will have Michelle and Amelia with this with the Outer Realms. Make sure you stick around for that. I should be back on Monday. I should be back on Monday, and then that might be my last show for a week or so, because I'll know if the move gets sorted this weekend and the early part of next week, in which case then I'll be moving, and obviously I'll need time away to move. So you might have Roger holding the fort for me while I'm gone, and
And
if he
real quick,
is,
like Paul,
say again.
real quick, like want to mention after your show tonight at 6 o'clock before Michelle
Yep.
is our dear friend Laura Lee Potvin and her buddy Dave Hansel, and
There
they're
you go.
both excellent readers.
There you go. Pendle Hill, yeah, Pendle Hill's where the witch trials were done. Says Jojo Walsh. Yeah, well, we could be going on all night, but I've literally got 2 minutes left, guys. So, on radio, like the days of old when Roger and I were just on Facebook, we could carry on until the cows come home. But here on radio, you have a strict 90 minutes. You're on and off in 90 minutes. You don't have the option of carrying on. Listen, I will see you guys Monday. There's a fairly strong chance I will be around on Saturday. If I am, I will be definitely sticking my head in through the door, and I will turn up purely and solely to take the mickey out of Roger. That's what I do for a living. And we will have
You
a
gotta
ball.
love him, folks. You know he's a little bit off, but it's okay.
A little bit off. A little bit off. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, brother. Listen, thank you. You make my day when you turn up on our show. Thank you for doing that. I
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
having me.
It's an honor, and I will come and join you guys on your show on Saturday. All fingers crossed. If you want to order one of these, let me know, and I will make sure that happens. And there are T-shirts as well. Lots of stuff actually. But I will be getting off right now. So is Roger, because Roger's got to go. And if you want to book some time in with Roger, make sure that you call the numbers right behind his head and book your one-to-ones with him, and get them in there. And don't forget to get your tickets in for his show coming out soon already. I'll see you all on the weekend. Until then, good night. God bless. Be safe. Latino Psychic Visions. Oh, but you can also book with me. My shows will, or sorry, my one-to-ones will always be virtual. I'll be doing it like this with you guys, and I can do group sessions as well. Alrighty. See you all soon. Roger, by the time he wrote that book,
I know, buddy. I know.
I said that to him 2 years ago, but when he still
Yes,
hasn't.
I know you did.
I've written 2 books in the meantime, so.
God love you, bud.
You too, brother, and be safe. And I will see you guys at the weekend. Alrighty.
All right.
Good night. God bless, God, guys.
You are listening to UPRN, United Public Radio Network, coming to you live on 105.3 right up to 107.7 FM from the beautiful city of New Orleans. UPRNTalkradio.com.